Kevin Sami Zayn. And now a tornado DDT by...
Hello G Nation, we got a brand new preview. It is Johnny Knoxville, JK, pretty much the Johnny Knoxville we had at WrestleMania, exact same outfit. If we have a look, first he's a trickster. Now the trainer ability at 26,000 is purple move starting MP reduced by 10 for your opponent. So one of the remaining colors we didn't get from the Ghostbusters. He has links with Modern Era and No Gear. Now the first moveset we're going to have a look at is the Right in the Gutter Ball. 10 MP purple move finisher, deals 113.5k damage, make 22 trap gems into blue gems and pin the opponent. The Atomic Nagi or Noogie, 6 MP blue move, submission, make 49, so the whole board, random submission gems, and do 105k damage for 3 turns while submission gems remain. Submission gems turn into trap gems. If broken by your opponent, it deals 117k damage to opponent and self. If broken by you, it steals up to 47k health. Now there's also the Tiptoe Toss, 7 MP blue move, deal 83.7k damage and make 15 random gems into purple gems. The pin bar will not move. Now you got a bunch of options here. I went with Lawler to start with more blue. I also put Edge so that my blue gems will do 35% more damage. As far as trainer go, you could have used, I think it's Mutant Doink. That adds damage to the finisher. Could have used that. Could have used Set, NXT Set that is, to add more blues to the finisher that we're going to be using. You could have used one of the trainers, I think it's Daniel Bryan and Dawkins, Powerhouse, I think, that adds purple to the Tiptoe Toss. Could have used that too since the pin bar will not move. Plenty option. As far as blue, you also have RVD. You got the Acro Macho that also adds blue. If you're lower, you can have, I think it's Striker Sasha that is flat blue. Not sure, I think. But at 5-star gold, flat blue 2200 is not nearly as much as 35%, so you're better off with the 35% for sure. There's a couple trainers that add 20% or 17%, the double color ones too, but everyone should have Edge. As far as coach, I went with Hall of Fame Sting because it adds both 2 blues to the finisher and a 5% extra damage on blue gem damage. You could go with Zombie Dominic, that also adds 2 blue, or if you have him 6-star, it adds 3 blues, so that's pretty good too. I put Snoopy here, which adds 20% blue damage. Hall of Fame China also adds 20% damage. I believe Alpha is 15%, and I can't remember who's the one that does the flat 2200 damage. There's also Santa that does 2200 flat to any color as well. So tons of different options. You could boost the submission, but personally I kind of want the submission to last as little as possible, just for the fact that I want as many of those to remain on the board. Hell, you could even use the coach that reduces the submission turn to make sure that there's some, but I kind of like, I think 3 is a pretty good amount. It's enough that it's going to prevent your opponent to do moves on his own turn, and it's not high enough that it's going to get rid of everything on the board. So I think 3 is a good number. 1, bit too low. All right, so let's try that. As far as the strap goes, I put in all Fury. I do have 2 Fury 2 and 2 Fury 1. The reason I had the Fury 1 was because I wanted to use my purple move damage 133%, although I don't think it's going to be much of a factor in here. As far as skill plate, you don't have a lot of options because you really don't need anything that has anything to do with the blue gems and the purple gems, because I mean you're making a ton of them, so reloading them, you definitely don't need any medals for that. There's not really any medals that has any effect on the traps. There is medal that do have effect on submission. The problem is that there's none for blue damage. There's for every other color than blue and red. You could technically use the all art since it does boost the purple, but our finisher is going to be converting into blue. If they survive, then the next turn you can do some purple damage. I don't think they will survive. Maybe at 6-star it's a different story, but at 5-star gold, as we're testing now, I don't think there's any way they're surviving that first hit anyway. I don't think it would be much a factor. So I went with cheap shot. Could be a good test at 6-star. If they do kick out of it, then the all art might be useful, because then you get some use out of the purple. Keep that in mind. Also keep in mind, if they later do release a medal that affect the submission, the damage after a submission for blues and red, because that's the only 2 color we don't have, then that plate would definitely be really good to use here, should they ever release one, which I assume they will at some point, because why release for all 4 color but not those 2? All right. Alright, so since our move that made the trap is a submission, we're going to use our other move first. It's not going to end our turn anyway. Alright, that's a good move. It's not going to end our turn anyway because it is a move that doesn't move the pin bar. Unfortunately, we did not get a lot of matches on that, but enough to fill our purple. Now we're going to use the submission. So the whole board is going to be a sub-gem. And we just want as many of those to survive. Man, he's getting rid of a lot of them. Okay. Now we're going to be converting 24 of those traps, if there's even 24 remaining, into blue and get a pin. Probably yes, because there's 1 remaining. 2.3 million. And obviously reloaded or blue move. I don't think he's going to get out of that. Indeed. Alright, that worked out pretty damn good. I like that. Alright, let's have a look at something else. Alright, second move set for Johnny Knoxville. So he does have a little limited move set, mainly due to the fact that pretty much both black move are steel moves, which, if you follow my content, you know I can't stand those moves because they're specific to attacking one guy that has the right kind of move color equipped, and I hate those. Plus, they usually take the space of a move that is part of a rotation of some kind, and it pretty much always hinders you. So I hate using those kind of moves. But there is two black move that's steel moves. That's steel MP, one that's steel blue MP, the other that's steel purple MP. You can use those. I never will. But yeah, second move set, which we're actually going to try 2 ways, is going to be the reversal 5 MP purple move, kick out, deal 489.2k damage and gain 978k health. The stump puller 7 MP purple move, submission, generate 20 random submission gems and do 105.3k damage for 3 turns while submission gems are on the gem board. Remaining sub gems turn into cross break gems. And the tiptoe toss that we used earlier, 7 MP blue move, deal 83.7k damage and make 15 random gems into purple gems. The pin bar will not move. Now the first set of trainers we're going to be using is all going to be about gem damage, because we're going to try to take basically those cross break gems that are going to be there. We're going to hope we can match them and get some good bonus out of that. Second try we're going to do this is going to be with all trainers that are going to benefit and boost the submission instead. So this one we're going to use a Lauder so that our blue start with 4 more MP. We're going to use a Big Show Trickster or Giant Trickster or whatever they call it, so that our purple moves do 45% more damage. It's going to increase the kick out damage here. For some reason the UI boosts the health. It's not going to do anything to the health. It's going to do it to the damage. We are also using Hall of Fame Eddie, which increase our purple damage by 5%, and we're going to make 2 extras. And I'm putting Santa Hogan here just so that we get the, don't care about the 1 MP, so he doesn't need to be at 17k, but I do care about the extra 2200 flat damage to every color, which is going to help our purple, but also if we get to break those cross break, which will break whatever color there is, or all color basically, we're going to benefit from Santa here. Again, for the strap, we don't really have that much option for skill plates. I did go with the Honky Tonk Blues, which gives you blue when you match green. That is mainly to try to get our blue back if when everything breaks we don't get enough blue. If we don't have a blue match, then we can try to go for a green match, but again, definitely it's just because I need to put something there, basically. Alright, let's try that. Okay, so let's get our purple. Nice, we got a blue match. While doing that, that's gonna help. Now we're gonna do our submission. It remained our turn because the pin bar does not move. Right, can I match any of those? Yes, I can. That broke the whole board. 895, probably gonna kick out of that. There you go. Obviously my big damage is going to come from my reversal, which does 1.3 million damage and gain 2.7 million health. But he hasn't pinned me yet, and I don't think he will before he's dead. This is going to give us the purple again, and not end our turn. We're going to go with the submission again. Okay, now I do have a match right there. $776K. This one he might not get out of, and he's out. Now, unfortunately, we did not see the kick-out move being used, but it is a hell of a backup should we need it. Submission pretty much prevented him from doing anything. Alright, so since that submission turned out to be pretty much anything that we needed, and the kick out being pretty much a crutch we didn't need, let's try to boost the submission. Alright, last moveset we're going to have a look at is going to be the exact same thing we just did, except we're going to be boosting the submission with everything. Now, before we look into that though, let me just show you the 6-star move, which is a groin kick. Just check on the portal what the value is going to be. So it's going to be a 7 MP blue move. It deals 124.7k damage plus 49.5k bonus damage for every trap gems. Now that is at 6-star bronze. Now also we have a look, the submission. So the blue submission is still making 49 sub-gems. It's going to do 165k damage for 3 turns, and the trap we're going to leave if broken by the opponent is going to do 183k damage to the opponent itself, and if you break it yourself, 73.7k. I think the first moveset is definitely going to be my favorite at 6-star, but yeah, would be nice to try. Okay, so trainers we're going to use this time. We got Lawler at 4, giving us 4 purple MP. We got a Zombie Brock, which add 3 turns to our submission, and the submission does 20% more. We got Peter Maivia, which is gonna add 50% damage to the sub and last 1 more turn. And we got Nikki Bella adding another 50% to the submission bonus, making it a 231.8k damage submission for 7 turns. That is a pretty big submission. Let's try that. Okay, so now we're gonna get some purples. Well, let's do some extra damage. Because we refilled the blue, so may as well do it a second time. There's even more purples to match with. Alright, now we're gonna lay the submission. He has 3 million health left. That should take quite a bit out of that. The downside is we probably won't have that many cross break left. Maybe I should have kept that blue move ready. Alright, so that did about 1.5 mil. Can I break any of those? I don't think I can. I can get some blue though. He still hasn't pinned me, so we can't really use that submission here. Not that submission, but that kick out. Let's make some more purple, which are probably going to match with some of those cross break gems. Or not. Let's do the sub again. And he's out. Still pretty effective. I think personally I still definitely like the first one better because you got the benefit of a submission that prevent your opponent from doing anything really. And on top of that, you got some pretty big damage that you can dish out every turn, and everything cycles itself so that you can always use your moves over and over. So I personally would go with the first one, but as we saw, all 3 ways work fine. So yeah, that is it for Johnny Knoxville. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're not already a sub, make sure to do so to be kept aware when I post new stuff. Have any questions, ask them. And if you like the video, leave a like and share. See you guys. Ciao.